My name is Ivan Wood, and I am a cannabis chef. I started cooking when I was 12. Back in the 70s, it was not uncommon to have liver and onions as a dinner, maybe once a week, and that was not one of my favorites. So I approached my stepmom and I said, look, I'm not interested in that kind of food. Can I make my own dinner on nights that we're having something that I don't like? And she said, sure. So I started pulling out cookbooks and looking at recipes and teaching myself how to cook, and loved it. I have two favorite chefs, Thomas Keller and Alice Waters. They are leaders within their industry. Thomas Keller is very technical in his approach, and Alice Waters also very technical, but brings a farm-to-table approach. So bringing the fresh quality produce from the farm to the table is very important to her. Organic, natural, good ingredients. And that's what I use in my kitchen. What brought me into the cannabis world was 3 years ago. I was working in a restaurant, I had a stroke, couldn't use my hands. For about 3 months it felt like I had shards of glass. It was very painful. Both hands were sore and swollen. I couldn't hold a knife. And my kids, who were in their 20s, said, you need to look at cannabis as a way to heal. And I thought about my use of cannabis back in the 70s, and I really didn't like it so much. So I didn't know if I was open to looking at cannabis today and using that in my approach toward food and preparing food. But I looked at CBD. I started trying using that in tinctures, and I found the recovery time was reduced and the pain started to go away, and the result was amazing. I mean, it was almost miraculous based on the type of pain that I was experiencing. So then I thought, why not marry this perfect plant with culinary and bring our food to the rest of the world? From a real high level, CBD is the non-psychoactive part of the cannabis plant, and THC is what brings you that psychoactive or high effect. I think that what sets us apart from other cannabis chefs is that we microdose, which means that we infuse very small amounts of cannabis, both the THC and the CBD side, into our food. And the effect from that is not so much this head high, but more of a feeling of well-being. It's within a realm where people are comfortable, they're fully functional, they don't feel like they have to go and take a nap or sit down and just be chill. They can get on with the rest of their day, and by microdosing with good quality food, you can infuse your breakfast, your lunch, your dinner, and you can maintain this level of feeling great all day long. The way that we infuse, we have a THC extract called Rick Simpson or full spectrum oil that has been lab tested. We know exactly what that level of THC is. So then by simple math, we can figure out how much 3 milligrams or 5 milligrams of THC infused into our food is going to take. Whereas other chefs, many of them are taking the cannabis leaf and decarboxylating, a process that allows for the THC to come through, and then they infuse butter or oils. And it's very difficult in that process to be able to know exactly how much THC is going into the food. When we infuse our food, it's processed through the stomach, but primarily the THC is processed through the liver. So it's very good for the liver. And then through the rest of the body, through the bloodstream, and the effect is completely different. It's a much mellower feeling of being high. When we infuse our food, you don't have that head high, but more you have a feeling of well-being. The aches and pains that maybe you were feeling in your shoulder or in your back seem to go away for a while. There are several things, several aspects that I love about cooking with cannabis. I love being able to be in the kitchen every day, being creative, finding different ways of being able to pair food with cannabis. I love that we are able to source locally all of these really great fresh ingredients. But I think that the greatest satisfaction to me is the look on people's face when they're eating our food, enjoying it in such a way that I know that the best part of their meal hasn't even come yet. That it's delicious, it looks good, that they're having a great experience, but once the high starts to kick in and they feel that relaxed sense of well-being, then that's when I get really happy, because I know that they're going to experience something that they haven't experienced before, and we've made it a very memorable experience for them.